Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto. Okay, so if you've been watching these videos recently, you know that I'm kind of waiting for Ethereum to have a bit of a bounce, really. Mainly because like Bitcoin's, got to its all-time high from the last bull market and gone way beyond it. Ethereum hasn't. The all-time high was 4,000 or something. It's not even got close to that. So I am sort of expecting a bounce at some point. Now, because of that, I keep going into sort of long positions and hoping that the price of Ethereum will go up, which I know isn't the best way to trade. And this went wrong the other night, and I'm kind of a bit pissed off with myself for doing it. I was in a long position with an entry of something like $3,300, which is obviously a bit high, isn't it? I'd seen it come down from here at the beginning of January, and I thought this was like a pretty good level to be at, hoping for a bounce. And it started to go down on Sunday night, and I should have known about this because on the 1 hour time frame the stonks indicator went red, and that went red at like 10 o'clock in the evening. Now then the price was around about 2,250 or something like that. So if I'd have come out of my trade then, let's say I was at 300. So let's say my entry was there, and I came down to about 3,250. We're talking about a 2% drop. Okay. Now 2%. I was actually on 10x leverage, which is quite an insane leverage for the Ethereum, really. You shouldn't really go any higher than 5, I don't think, because it just moves much more quicker than, say, Bitcoin does. But for various reasons, I was on 10x leverage, and it came down 2%, so that was looking like a 20% loss. And I was thinking, well, that's bad, but surely it'll go back up. And I kind of ignored the stonksy being red, which turned out to be quite a costly mistake. Now, the other stupid thing I'd done was I'd gone into the trade with all my available balance for that trade. So it wasn't like I could, add to the margin or average down a price or anything like that. And my liquidation price was just below $3,000. And as it came down here, I thought that is going to wreck me completely. And I closed the trade and I lost 55%. And that has set me back quite a few weeks. And I'll show you why. And by the way, I've changed the front page of savewithcrypto.org. So it shows my latest blog post, so you can see what I'm thinking about here and what I'm generally doing. And also if I need to refer to something that I've written down, then I'll put it here. So I made this table yesterday. This is the percentage loss versus percentage to recover. Now, the way you calculate this is it's the amount you've lost or gained, if you like, divided by the initial amount, multiplied by 100 to get the percentage. So it means if you lose 50%, you've got to make 100% back to get where you were, you see. So I actually lost 55%. So, I need to make back, I don't know the exact figure, but it's something like 130%, which means I've got to at least double my money again to get back where I was. And that is where I was about 3 weeks ago. So the reason the title of this video is you're going to have to get used to losing money to make money is because you're not going to win every trade. You're definitely not. That just does not happen. Okay. So how much should you lose? Well, really, what I should have done, when it was 20% down, I should have taken the loss. Now, the reason being is to get it back, I'd have only had to have made 25% to get back where I was. And making 25% in crypto with trading is pretty easy, to be honest. Making 100% is not so easy, okay? And when you get into ridiculous things like 70 or 80% losses, you need to make back, 400%, which is tripling your money. That's not easy. That doesn't happen overnight. Well, it does sometimes, but generally that is the result of like quite a few weeks or even months of work to triple your money. And of course, if you lose all your money, then you're broke and you haven't got any more money. And I do have a rule with myself that, if I do a bad trade, I do not buy more crypto with fiat money that I'm supposed to be spending on, food, bills, all that kind of stuff. I never use that money for buying crypto. I only ever use crypto that I've already got or crypto that I've earned, or of course profits from trading. Okay, so why should I have taken a 20% loss? Well, looking at the chart, you can see why now. Well, for a start, I actually wouldn't have got liquidated, but I would have been $17 off liquidation, and there's no way I could have slept on Sunday night knowing that I was very near to getting liquidated. And we're talking a few $1,000s here, so it's not a small amount. So I took the loss, but I took the loss at 55%, which means I haven't got that much capital to play with to get back to where I was. Now, if I'd have taken the 20% loss on Sunday night, I could have re-entered when everyone was panicking yesterday because of the DeepSeek news. I could have gone back in there, and right now I would be 5% up with no leverage. If I was using, for example, 10x leverage, I'd be 50% up. And even 5x leverage, I would be 25% up, which would have put me back where I was on Sunday night. You get the idea? Now, this is something we've got to get used to. You've got to get used to losing, but you've got to lose less money than you're probably losing now. I'm going to make it a rule with myself that I never lose more than 20%, which means I'm going to set a stop loss. So the maximum that I ever lose on a trade is 20%. Sometimes I do try and catch a falling knife. Now, the way that would work would be something like here, which was back on the 7th of January, when, you'd have seen all these red candles and you think, okay, I'm going to try and get into a long somewhere here. And if you thought, okay, that's it there, we're definitely at the bottom. And then obviously it came down much further, didn't it? So at that point, say you were on something like 10x leverage, then you're looking for 2% before you decide you're wrong. And that would have been here, okay? So at that point, you'd have gone, no, that's not right. I didn't get it. I was completely wrong. So you would have taken a 20% loss. And you see, then there would be the possibility of maybe trying again when you saw the price falling here, and you could have got into a position. To be honest, I'd probably have an order set at 3,000 in that case. I didn't, but that would have been the idea. And then you could have ridden it up 17% up to $3,500. So even though you made the loss on the way down, you'd have made a much bigger profit on the way back up. Now, of course, the other aspect to this is even if your liquidation point was miles away, if you're down here sitting in a 50% loss, you can't take any advantage of the low price because you've got no capital left. All you can do is hope the price goes back up and then get out at break even. I'm making this video because I need to have a word with myself about this, because I'm not very good at this and I need to get better. I think if I make this video and explain it, then I think that's going to help me and it's going to help you as well. So currently I'm in a Bitcoin trade on BitGet and I'm $296 underwater, which is 10%. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to let this get to 20%, okay? Because I'm going to stick to my rules and not lose more than 20%. I hope you find this video useful. I think it's useful for myself as well as providing content for you as well. If you appreciate that, please do give the video a big fat like. And do make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications put on all. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments. I do try and answer all the comments that aren't bots or scammers. So it'd be really nice to hear from you anyway. That would be nice as well. And if you do want to trade with me on BitGet, you can use my affiliate link, which is savewithcrypto.org/BitGet, which will get you up to $30,000 to play with, which is very nice. If you can't use BitGet in your jurisdiction, there are other exchanges like Blofin and Bitunix, which I have links for in the description down below. And all of those get you amazing bonuses if you use my link. If you don't use my link, you don't. So make sure you do. All right. So thanks very much for watching. And above all, tell your friends.
Save with Crypto has to be one of the best YouTube channels that the United States has ever seen. Kamala Harris is not a subscriber, but I am. I have notifications set to all as well. I'd strongly suggest you subscribe to Save with Crypto today. Above all, you should tell your friends.
Save with Crypto is not a financial advisor. He just makes ice cream on the internet. If you cannot find someone to do your own research, you must do it yourself, just like I did not.